Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan, and this is Opinionated Moms.
Can't wait for this episode. So juicy. So give us a headline.
Okay, so this is gonna lead us right into the craziest reunion series I've seen in a while.
I know.
Um, Martina and Julia have made headlines after the reunion for Real Housewives of Miami. Martina allegedly is in contact to file for divorce. She's been talking to attorneys. Now, this is from a housewife blogger who spoke to a close friend and source of Martina, said Martina sent a text message to this friend saying the marriage is close to game, set, match.
Oh my God.
It looks like them adopting the boys is one thing that's keeping her around with Julia. But she feels like she's being used as a spectacle for the public. She's devastated about their issues being on full display on national television, and she's just not sure what to do about the kids, but she's pretty much over the relationship.
That is wild, and I don't find that it's sad, but I'm like, Julia did this to herself. That reunion from beginning to end. Part two, that was part two. Part
I
two was
know.
beginning to end was jam-packed, and I literally was like with my popcorn, fake popcorn. But like it was crazy. How did you feel watching part two?
Oh, so much happening. Okay, so first of all, Julia announcing that her and Adriana slept together. I could have told you that. Like I feel like that was obvious from their first season together, like
Hmm.
very like touchy-feely and like joking and like making like weird comments to each other. I was like, but I didn't want to say anything about it like online or anything because usually when you say stuff like that, especially when one person is a part of the LGBTQ plus community,
Hmm.
like it sounds not good. Like you sound like you're not an ally. So it's like I didn't want to
Yeah,
come off that way, but I was like,
yeah,
these two definitely look like they're
yeah.
messing around. So that part didn't shock me. Adriana also didn't deny it. She just said that they didn't do a specific position. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Uh-huh.
And
So
Julia
she
said Martina knew and that knew she was going to talk about it on the reunion. So I don't know.
so I listened to Two Teas in a Pod,
Uh-huh.
and Dolores and Teddy were recapping it, and they actually called Adriana right after part two, and they were like, you know, we don't want details of like the intimacy part. But Adriana was like, no, no, like it's fine. Like I'm gonna clear things up because she's like, I don't want people thinking that I had sex with this woman, at least in what she defines sex. She basically says she never went. Julia did not go down on her, and Adriana did not go down on her. Julia only patted, basically fingered her.
That's what
That
she
was
said
it.
on the
That was
reunion
it.
too.
And it was only one time. It was not multiple times, but that in Spain, and I know she said this in the reunion, that in Spain, in this current season, Julia was trying to have a moment with Adriana, and Adriana was like, "No, like what the heck? Like I don't want to do that." And I, Julia, to me, I don't really understand what she brings to the show, and I do agree with Adriana where I feel like she tries to like, how do I say this? I wouldn't call her a user, but I feel like she likes to become friends with people through her like sexuality and like kind of with the women and then get all cutesy. So I do agree with Adriana, but I feel like I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I'm not
I think
making sense.
Julia's used to just like, kind of like flirting and like being cute and kind of like getting her way. I think Gretchen from OC is kind of the same way. Like she's used to just being like cute and funny and like people like her because she's cute and funny.
But it's like
Um,
it's that worked in 2010 and this is 2025. It doesn't work
you've
now.
had seven faces since then. Like, mm.
Literally, literally. But yeah, sorry, you're
Yeah.
saying.
No, yeah, so I agree. I think we're getting into semantics when we talk about exactly what happened in the bedroom.
Hmm.
Um, because I don't know, I don't sleep with women, so I don't know what constitutes sex
I
versus
know.
not versus
I
like fooling around. Like I don't know.
me
So
either.
and honestly, it doesn't matter. The moral of the story is you guys had a moment and you had a moment with a married woman. I think it's weird though, not in defense of Julia, but I think it's weird that Adriana is trying to say, well, you cheated on your wife, like, but you were with a married person. So
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yep.
matter if Julia slept with 20 other people or just Adriana. The moral of the story is you were one of those people. You know what
Exactly.
I
And
mean?
you knew she was married. So
Right.
shame on you too. Shame on Julia, first of all. But
Correct.
Adriana, shame on you too, because you're calling her a liar and a cheater. But like, no
And then she
offense,
wants to
girl.
turn around and be godmother to her children.
I
Like,
know. It makes
girl.
sense why Julia was like, no, I can't do that. Like we fooled
Right.
around and like it's like wrong. It's like, no, Adriana, you messed up. You're a liar and a homewrecker if you want to put it that if you really want to call names now.
Now, I will
Um,
say, Julia said that coming into the show, she was supposed to be on Adriana's side, and Adriana made that very clear, and to not be friends with Alexia and Marisol. I do believe that. I do believe she told her that.
I do believe that too, if I'm being honest. I think these women, some of these women on the shows, like they expect like blind loyalty. Like if they're bringing him onto the show, they're like, "You're my friend no matter what," because we know how the shows can get.
Hmm.
And I think Adriana got jealous that Julia was building connections with the other women, and she's kind of like, "That's you're my girl. Like I brought you on here. You know, I don't know. It's just." This reunion was just it was messy. It was messy.
It was a
And then
lot.
Adriana started the Haitian mortician and like I believe her. Did you see the clip online circulating when Larsa was it like 2 seasons
Oh,
ago?
yeah, when she asked her about making out with a guy.
And and like everyone knows that Julia is like a horn dog and like likes men and women. Like she likes black men and she likes pretty women. So it's like and I just like I don't know. I'm like, Julia, what are you doing on here? You know what I mean? Like,
I
why
think
did
it
you adopt these
depends
two
on,
kids?
I would need to hear from Martina because we as the public, okay. So I feel like this about any relationship, right? Like there's the standard for a relationship, and then there's what two people decide is okay within their relationship. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, like their relationship is like insane, right? But
Yeah.
obviously they're still together, so
Yep.
they are okay with it,
Yep.
but we as a society are not okay with it. So I need to
Yep.
know what have Martina and Julia decided
Same.
is okay, because because Julia said back then that she made out with that man. Like she wasn't just like, "Oh yeah, I was making out with a guy." Like obviously she didn't want it on television. So like
Mm-hmm.
maybe Martina is okay with certain things in certain places, but now it's gotten too public. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of what it sounds like to me.
I this is an outsider speculating about their relationship. I thought that they have some sort of agreement that like, hey, you don't disrespect me publicly, I won't disrespect you publicly, like you do what you gotta go do, but like we're united together publicly.
Hmm.
And that's I think that's what they I don't know, but I don't know. But it was just
We should have had Martina there.
I know, right? And I'm just like, man, Julia, you just added yourself and I don't know. I don't know. It was just it was wild. What else happened in the reunion now? Think about it.
Okay, so Gertie, we're still talking about the water being thrown at Gertie, and they got a little more into it as far, okay, so this, don't hate me, internet, but, okay, don't hate me. But I know Gertie brought up the fact that Julia has thrown or attempted to throw things at people multiple times. This is her third or fourth time now.
Yeah.
And they showed the footage of the other times, and I completely understand that Julia has a habit and a pattern of doing this now. However, all of those other times, it wasn't like, ah, okay, okay. So when it happened to Gertie,
Hmm.
Larsa and Marisol specifically, I don't remember if Alexia said something, but they specifically were like, this is crazy. We don't want any parts of this. That is completely wrong. You shouldn't be throwing things. But they didn't stand up and go, you sit down, get out, blah, blah, blah. And I think Gertie just needs like a big show
Yeah.
of things for to feel like she's getting support. Like it has to
Yeah.
be 20 times more than what's actually necessary.
Yeah.
When things were thrown before, everybody had the exact same reaction. Like, this is ridiculous. We should not be doing this. You guys got to calm down. It's the same thing every time. So I don't understand, including Gertie herself reacts like that. So I don't understand why Gertie needs this big show when she doesn't give that support herself, which Alexia said. And then I also feel like Alexia gave that apology and then, she just kind of like turned it away. It's like she just really wants them to condemn Julia. Is it? But she's only talking about, I don't think she's meaning it like this, but it's coming across they want, Gertie wants them to condemn Julia for throwing the drink in her face when really it's an accumulation of different actions, but she's only focusing on the throwing of the drink. You see what I'm
And
saying?
I agree. I agree what you're saying right there. I
But I feel
think
like the internet does not agree.
no. I think internet is Team Gertie 100%.
Yeah.
Um, I look, I think these shows, like, I could never do these shows because I think I would be like Gertie, where like I really do think, first of all, I'm not even made for those kind of shows, but like the point of the show is to have conflict and then resolution. Like you said, they've shown scenes where Gertie is right there. She's not sticking up for people. In fact, she's actually leaving because she's like, I want no part of this. So why is it okay for her to walk away, but then when it's being done to her, she wants the support? And I, I think this is one that we're not gonna like the audience. They're just Team Gertie. They're just Team Gertie, and yeah, I think if they can't move on from this, I don't think they're gonna bring back Gertie. From what I've been hearing, that the women don't want to film with her, and that's not
Oh.
good. That's not good. Alexia, Marisol, Kiki, they don't want to film
Well, I know
with
why
her.
Kiki doesn't want to is because Gertie made her look like she's anti-black. And that's like the one thing, like you can't like I get you know like as a black woman I would be over it too, like no you did not just call me anti-black, absolutely not.
Like to my own people, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh my,
no,
what?
absolutely not. That would piss me
I
off too. When all Kiki was doing, she was like, "Come on, you don't need to be a part of this." She wasn't even saying leave. I think she was telling her like, "Let's go to the bathroom or something." Like you just had a drink thrown on you. Like she's trying to help you, but Gertie takes everything that even that's what I'm saying. Like even at the reunion in part one, when Alexia apologized, it took like four people to tell her Alexia is apologizing to you
it's
until it
because
actually
Gertie,
clicked.
she's not listening. She doesn't want to listen
Hmm.
when someone's trying to like tell you like, hey, I am sorry. I, I yeah, she's not listening. She's not listening, and that's a problem. When you can't
Yeah.
listen with a group of cast on a show, like people are gonna get fed up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
And I think
Um,
there's sometimes you get too close to the situation. Like I know she's had issues with Alexia, she's had issues with Larsa, specifically Larsa.
mm,
But I feel like this season Larsa's been like really good about being like more of a mediator and just calling out what's wrong is wrong. And she just didn't want to hear it because it was Larsa, you know?
yeah, I agree. Um, and then what else happened? Oh, they talked about Stephanie and Alexia a little bit.
Mhm.
Which how did you feel Stephanie conducted herself in that in part two?
Oh,
The
good. I thought it was great. I was like, I really don't want to see them argue because they are really similar. I knew that before, like even when they were just showing like the preview clips before
hmm
we, even got introduced to her. I was like,
hmm
yeah, her and Alexia are not going to get along because they're way too much alike. So I'm glad
Yeah,
they kind of like figured that out and they understand like the limits with you are the same limits with me. So we'll just
exactly.
keep it
Yeah.
at that. So,
Yeah. So I agree. I agree. I'm excited for part three. Let's talk about OC because we haven't talked about it in a minute.
yes.
I'm over Gretchen. I'm just
Girl,
gonna say that.
and her face.
Oh my God. Like
So I
her.
actually went back. I have a friend who just started OC series.
Okay.
Excuse me. I think she's on it's like season 2 or 3 or something. And so it made me want to go back and watch because to be quite frank, I can't remember what happened with Gretchen and Tamra, like the beginning of what sparked it all. So I went back to like season
Mm-hmm.
four-ish, and I started watching it and I was like, who is this person? Because the person I'm looking at on my TV don't look nothing. Her head is like 10 times bigger. Her mouth is bigger. Her cheeks are up here next to her eyes. Like, but Gretchen was really pretty back in the day. And I have come
It
to the
was.
conclusion that Gretchen came on the show. Tamara was immediately intimidated and being a mean girl to her. And they could have teamed up and they could have taken over Housewives, but instead Tamara teamed up with Vicky because she
Mm-hmm.
thought Vicky was like the it girl of the series when really her and Gretchen could have run
Mm-hmm.
that franchise. And I
Mm-hmm.
think she made a really bad mistake there. I do think Gretchen could like she seemed kind of there were things off about her, but anyway, yeah, she could she should have teamed up with Gretchen, but Gretchen now absolutely not. And her Emily is right, Tamara and Gretchen are the same person.
They are. How about when she's talking to Emily and like she's giving the rundown of what was happening and like Gretchen just out of nowhere like pulls up an article. Oh, let me show you this article from 2010. And
I
Emily's
love
like,
how Emily's like, no, put it down, I don't want to see it,
I'm
go away,
like, why are you stuck in the past? I
please,
thought you were a
girl.
woman of God who like forgives and like, like your life's so much better, blah blah blah, 'cause that's what she preaches. And like you have like a folder of literally like camera folder, like, oh yeah, well, you were waiting for that. And I'm just like,
And then she tried to make Emily responsible for Slade talking about
I
Tamara
know.
sleeping with somebody years ago. Like, no.
Yeah, that right there, I didn't like that. She's like, you guys were all like, I was drinking
She's
too
like, well, you
much.
called Slade. Yeah, and asked him to play a song. We didn't ask about Tamara's sex life.
Like they didn't even know about that. Like that was all you, Gretchen. And then, uh, so I'm over Gretchen. Oh, I got all gray again. Great.
It's all good.
I'm over Gretchen. I'm over Tamra this season. Like
What do
I'm
you think about Tamara and Katie meeting up?
so I feel like the internet is not on Kate. No, the internet is on Katie's side,
Katie's side, yes.
but the real cast is still not.
Hmm.
And I don't think there was anything wrong that Tamara went to go meet up with her. But I feel like she's still in a really vulnerable place when they filmed that and she's hurt. Um, but I don't really feel like she gave Tamara anything new, if that makes sense.
No, I think Tamara was just listening for the first time.
Yeah. How did you feel about that scene?
I mean, I think it was unnecessary. I think uh everybody's right. Tamara did meet up with Katie just to get intel on Gretchen. But I do think Katie was telling the truth. I don't understand why. Like you think Slade and Gretchen would do all these mean things, but you think Katie just randomly made this up? Like it seems unrealistic. Like
Yeah. And how did you feel about Emily being so butthurt that Tamara was meeting up with
that
Kate?
was ridiculous. If I could have went through the TV and smacked her, I would have been like, "Girl, get it together."
Like, why are you so angry about that? That's really weird. We're like literally Tamara is being accused of drugging Gretchen and now suddenly like having an affair with a married man like from years ago. So like that's okay for people to be saying about Tamara, but then Emily's like, no, you can't go meet with Katie because if you do, like, I'm so mad at you. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was really strange. Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, it
He's
was
like, "You
weird.
asked me why I don't trust you. This is why. Like, you don't trust me because I'm trying to clear my own name." Like, what?
Yeah, yeah. And how did you feel about the whole towards the end? This is already the last of the scenes where Gretchen and Slade go up to Tamra. Like, did you
I
feel
think
it was?
I think Tamara should have said something. I would like to see Tamara go, "What do you want?" Okay, that's not true. Are you finished talking? Because we're just gonna keep saying the same thing. You're gonna lie, and I'm gonna say that you're lying, and then just be like done with it. Um, I also want to point out that when they were getting ready, Slade said to Gretchen that how all the men feel. And I was like, you all the men? Have you met all the men? I think you maybe
He's so
met
cringy. Give that
like
guy an orange because
he
he
wants to be a
wants
housewife so bad.
like you need to give him an orange because he is working for that spot. And I'm just like, you're so full of yourself. Like, ugh, he's so cringy to me. Like,
Yeah.
so cringy.
I think Slade and Gretchen are just like Alexia and Marisol, and Slade is Marisol. He is running around, or maybe it's the other way around. Slade is Alexia, and Gretchen's just kind of like repeating everything that he said. He's working really hard behind the scenes for sure.
Really hard, really hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just exhausting to
But
watch.
if he was smart, he would have come in and played nice, gotten
Mm.
comfortable on the show, and then kick something up later instead of coming out the gate swinging. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know, I know what you're saying, and I do wish Tamara would have. When I say I'm over Tamara this season, I'm so done with her. Every scene, I just can't do this anymore, and I'm done. Walks out, comes back. I'm done. Walks back.
Tamara
I'm over
too.
that. Huh?
Tamara too.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
Oh,
Tamara.
Tamara. I thought you were sorry. I thought you were talking about Gretchen. I was like, no,
No,
no.
Gretchen's not running. No, Gretchen had the. I will say she hasn't been running away. She's lying. She's delusional, but she's not running away. And she's bringing up stuff from 2010, but she's not running away. And
That's true.
Tamara, I would have liked for her to been like, you know what? Instead of saying no right away and just walking, just be like, hey, Slade, I don't want to deal with you. Actually, like I can talk to your wife, whatever. Like I have nothing to say to you. But I'm tired of her running every single time, and I'm just like, it gets old, man. You know, it gets old. Like, don't come back then. Don't
Yeah.
come back if you're gonna run away every time.
I
And I
did
get
agree
it.
with Emily that I thought it was aggressive for them to both approach her. I think if they had approached Tamra with Eddie, then that would have been different. But you and your husband, who I can't stand,
Hmm.
cannot come up to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
no,
when Gretchen's like, run, bitch, run.
that was kind of funny.
I was like, but you're doing exactly what Tamra has done. Like, you two are so similar. They're so
Yeah,
similar.
they met
Um,
when they their first season. They were so similar.
yeah, I mean, well,
Gretchen's just 10 years younger.
Gretchen was in Tamara's what? No, Gretchen was in her wedding or went to her wedding, Tamara's wedding. Like they were close, which was just so unfortunate that they fell off.
Mhm.
But that's basically what's been going on. Glad we got to recap all of
Yes.
these,
So
all of
much
this.
happening. I can't wait to wrap up OC. I'm over it.
Oh my God, me too. Me too. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, save, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you're thinking. And thank you guys so much for always tuning in.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and catch us back next week when we
Yes,
follow up with finally part 3 of Miami.
I know. All right, thanks
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.